Hi folks, thanks for tuning in and welcome back. I've had some questions about these Luminox watches and I thought I would take some time and share them with you. Now, having said that, I'm not selling anything. You can basically pick up a G-Shock at a fraction of the cost and you're off hunting, fishing, and doing bushcraft with a very nice timepiece. But these are the sporting watches that I wear. I had a fourth one last year and I left that one in Africa. That one is gone. The PH is wearing it now and I'm sure he's enjoying it. This watch here I'm not going to be reviewing. It just happens to be the watch that I'm wearing today. But for those watch folks out there, it is a Swiss Army watch with a blue face. So let me just talk a little bit about the Luminox line. They basically have four watches that they put out, or four main lines, and they have a sea line, a land edition, an air edition, as well as a space edition. Now they also have another set of watches that Luminox put out, and it's part of the Razor Dobbs Signature Edition. And they also have one that they worked on with Scott Castle, and they put out a watch with him. And this one here is a special edition watch. This is part of their Air line, or their Air edition, and these two right here are part of their C line. So I'll talk about them. I'll touch a little bit on the pros and cons. I'll bring in nice and close, make sure you can get a nice look at them. I'll write something up in the description section, of course. And at the conclusion, I'm going to kill the lights and let you get a good look at the light tubes. All these watches have little tiny luminaries inside, and you can see them at night, and they're pretty pronounced. And one of the reasons a lot of folks gravitate to these watches, they like that feature. These are very heavy duty. I think they're more heavy duty than the carbon watches or the polycarbonate ones that they make that are very lightweight. The Navy Seal watch, I believe that one was only 65 grams. It was very, very lightweight and comfortable. But these are a little more robust, and I'll talk about that starting with this watch right here. This is the one I've had the longest. This is the oldest one. And what you're looking at here is an F-117 Nighthawk. And the model number on this particular watch is A as in Alpha 6402. This one here was put out in collaboration with Lockheed Martin. It is the watch that has the stealth jet engraved on the back of it. And let me see if I can give you a shot of that. And there you go. And this one has a metal band, of course. This is a stainless steel band, stainless steel body, and it also has a stainless steel bezel. So this is built like a tank. I've beat this up over many years, and I mean, there's very little maintenance other than wiping it down and replacing the battery. That's about it. Now they claim that the battery lasts 10 years in this. It takes a CR 2016. I could tell you that I replaced the battery after about 5 or 6 years. So I got 50–60% of the battery life out of this. It has a one-way rotational bezel with a tactile click to it. And there is a luminary at the very top there, a light tube at the 12 o'clock setting on the bezel. This watch, they claim, will glow for 25 years. The case that you're looking at here is 45 millimeters, so this is a rather large watch. It has a big face on it. 200 meter water resistance. And I'll show you the side profile. There you go. So you can get a look at that. And the thickness there is 12 millimeters, what you're looking at. Now Luminox claims that this watch weighs 102 grams, and I've weighed this watch with a couple of the links missing, of course, because I had to size it to fit me. And I'll just show you what it weighs. There you go. 176 grams. It's a very heavy watch. It's coming in at 6.2 ounces, and that's one of the cons. It is a bit clunky. It's noticeably heavy on the wrist. I tend to bang it around on the coffee table, the door jamb. I'll also say that this bezel here is a bit sharp. It has like this aggressive area here. It's almost like a mini little Picatinny rail, and it will score the finger. And this might be an issue for some folks. It could scratch your car or something else, so I'll point that out. And lastly, this band can be a little bit cold and below freezing temperatures when it's up against your wrist. But I wear this for bushcraft, hunting, fishing, EDC, you name it. This is not the kind of watch that you have to baby. It is a very nice timepiece. It's accurate, and it's very, very robust. So once again, this is the F-117 Nighthawk. And I'll set it down here where you can still see it. And then I'll move on to one of my favorites, which is here in the middle. And one of the nicest looking ones. Now, as you can see on this watch here, which is called the Luminox Modern Mariner, and the model number on this particular unit is 6250, 6250. And they tied in the bezel with the stitching on the band. Very nice. This watch is much lighter. Still has a 45mm case, a little more surface area on the glass where you can actually see the numbers. They claim it has an anti-reflective coating on there on the sapphire glass, but it still reflects a little bit. 10-year battery life, and everything else is very, very close. It is a little bit thinner, only 10mm there on the thickness of the case. And Luminox claims that this one weighs 98 grams. I weighed it. It came in at 104, but it is much, much lighter than the Nighthawk watch. And it's a very nice looking watch. I tend to wear this one for work, weekends, evenings, leather band. And the con with that is the obvious. It would not be ideal for salt water, taking it into the ocean. And one thing I will say about this band is it's very soft. It's nice and pliable, and it is the most comfortable out of the three. Now, it will get a little bit of a salt buildup, and in the summer when it's humid it does become a little bit sticky at times. So I'll mention that as well. There's the band in the back of the watch, and that's just normal wear. That's not a big deal. So once again, you're looking at the Modern Mariner, and the number on this unit is 6250. And this is a very nice sporting watch, and one that I like to wear when I go out. And I'll take it in the woods too. I've taken it hunting. It's not a big deal. It can handle that. They're designed to do that. Now this one here is the replacement to my Navy Seal watch. And this is heavy duty, this watch here. It is robust. Almost comparable to the Nighthawk. And what you're looking at is a Luminox Anu and Alpha November uniform. That stands for Authorized Navy Use. And the model number on this particular unit is 4221, 4221. This also has a 45mm case, rotational bezel, one-way stainless steel body, and a rubberized band. The numbers are grayed out, so they're going to be a little more subdued. They're not going to pop and be as pronounced, but a very nice watch nonetheless. 10-year battery life, 200 meters underwater, and the body is going to be a little bit thicker on this one, coming in at 13mm. This one did not come with a weight classification in the specs, but I weighed it and it comes in at 120 grams. So not as heavy. as the Stealth watch. Pretty comfortable. I wouldn't say it's as comfortable as the leather band, but there you go. That's what it looks like in the back. It does have a logo there, insignia. Give you a nice shot of that. And I basically leave this one on all the time, whether I'm at the gym, if I jump in the pool, fishing, hunting, camping, bushcraft, you name it. You get a little bit of sweat build up there. It's not that big of a deal. Robust, very nice timepiece. As far as cons, I guess some folks may find that the grayed out letters are not as pronounced. They don't jump out as much. That might be an issue for some folks. This band here eventually will have to be replaced. I've had these rubberized bands before. If you go into salt water a lot and you expose the watch to the sun a lot, those UV rays in connection with the salt water will start to break down these bands, and after time they do dry rot, start to get little cracks in them, and they will need to be replaced. But relatively maintenance free, pretty heavy duty. I wear this one all the time. I'll set it down right there where you can still see it. And let me see if I can bring in a little closer so you folks can get a better look at them. And there we go. So once again, you're looking at the F-117 Nighthawk here. This watch could have some collectability one day, perhaps. In the middle is the Modern Mariner. This one is the most comfortable out of the three. And on the end here, you have the Authorized Navy Use watch, which I wear all the time. That's my go-to watch. A little more subdued, a little more laid back. All of them are high quality watches. Of course, you can find something much cheaper to tell time. But these are my preferred sporting watches. I wanted to share them with you. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kill the lights and I'll show you what the glow tubes look like in low light conditions. So stand by, please. Hi folks, I have the watches laid out here, and this is what they look like in low light conditions. The one all the way to the left is the F-117 Nighthawk. That's the oldest watch and the least bright, but I can still make out the time. I can actually see the second hand going around, and not too bad. The one in the center is the Mariner, and as you can see, that's very pronounced, that one. Easier to read, it's a little bit brighter, and you can actually make out the 12 o'clock markings both on the bezel and the face of the watch itself. Very easy to read. And the one on the right is the Authorized Navy Use watch. That one is also easy to read. It's all green. No problem there, and I can follow the second hand around as well. Some of you have expressed interest in these watches. This is what they look like in low light conditions. They are capable of being read. They're not super bright, but I wanted to share them with you. Thanks for tuning in, and see you all next time.